All right, you ready to dive into this clusterfuck? We're talking about the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup, that shit show they're trying to pull off in the U.S. 32 teams, a brand new format. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, let's just say FIFA might have bitten off more than they can chew this time. They're aiming for a global spectacle, but they've stepped on a few toes in the process.
No shit. Between the format, the team selection, and the whole multi-club ownership debacle, it's like they're trying to create a controversy sandwich with extra layers of bullshit.
Okay, let's unpack this mess one controversy at a time. First off, the format. 8 groups of 4, then knockout rounds. Basically, they're trying to make it a mini World Cup.
Yeah, a money grab World Cup.
Yeah.
Remember the old Club World Cup? Quick, easy, in and out. Now they're stretching this thing out for a whole month. Talk about viewer fatigue.
Well, the old format only had 7 teams, which a lot of people felt wasn't representative of the global club scene. This expanded version is supposed to be more inclusive, but
It's still skewed towards Europe, as usual. UEFA gets a whopping 12 slots, CONMEBOL gets 6, and the other confederations are left fighting for scraps. It's like FIFA is saying, hey, rest of the world, thanks for coming, but we really only care about Europe.
well, the allocation is based on a point system that takes into account the performance of clubs in continental competitions over the past 4 years. But you're right, it does heavily favor European teams.
So basically it's the same old shit, just repackaged with a shiny new format. But hey, at least we'll get to see the usual suspects. Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern Munich. They'll all be there. Oh, and let's not forget Auckland City. Little old Auckland City from Oceania snuck in there somehow.
Auckland City is a fascinating case. They consistently punch above their weight in the OFC Champions League and have become a sort of cult favorite at the Club World Cup. They're not expected to go far, but they always bring a certain underdog charm to the tournament.
Underdog charm, my ass. They're just cannon fodder for the European giants. But speaking of controversy, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Inter Miami, they got bounced from the playoffs early, yet somehow they're in the Club World Cup. What a fucking joke.
There's been a lot of criticism surrounding Inter Miami's selection. They won the Supporters' Shield, which is for the best regular season record, but some argue that the MLS Cup, the playoff champion, should be the representative.
Let's cut the crap. It's all about Messi. FIFA is using his star power to sell tickets and appease sponsors. It's a giant middle finger to the other MLS teams who actually, won something.
Messi's presence undoubtedly brings a lot of attention, and let's face it, FIFA loves attention. But it does raise questions about the selection criteria and whether they're consistently applied.
Consistent FIFA, that's hilarious. But hold on, because this shit gets even deeper. We've got multi-club ownership shenanigans to unravel, and this is where things get really shady.
Right, the Pachuca and Leon situation. Both clubs are owned by Grupo Pachuca, which goes against FIFA's own rules about multi-club ownership in the same competition. It's a blatant conflict of interest.
It's like letting 2 siblings fight for the same toy. Except in this case, the toy is a spot in the Club World Cup, and the siblings are owned by the same shady corporation.
And now we have Costa Rican club Alajuelen's threatening legal action because they believe they should gotten a spot if one of the Mexican clubs is disqualified.
This whole thing is a legal minefield waiting to explode. It's like FIFA is trying to juggle chainsaws while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, for starters, they could piss off the players even more than they already have. FIFA Pro, the players' union, is not happy about the fixture congestion and the impact it's going to have on player welfare. They've even threatened legal action if FIFA doesn't address their concerns.
The players are already treated like cash cows, and now FIFA is trying to milk them even harder. It's only a matter of time before someone gets seriously injured because of this ridiculous schedule.
FIFA Pro has a point. The players are the ones who are putting their bodies on the line, and they deserve to have their voices heard when it comes to scheduling and workload. But FIFA seems more concerned with maximizing profits than protecting the health of the players.
Shocking, I know. But wait, there's more. Remember that whole broadcasting rights debacle? FIFA tried to play hardball with Apple and ended up falling flat on their faces.
Yeah, the Apple deal falling through was definitely a blow to FIFA. They were hoping for a massive payday, but Apple wasn't willing to meet their demands. They ended up scrambling to find a broadcaster at the last minute and settled for a deal with DZN where all the games have to be streamed for free.
Talk about a desperate move. It's like FIFA is saying, please, someone, anyone, take this tournament off our hands. We'll practically give it away for free. This whole thing is shaping up to be a giant financial flop, and I can't wait to watch it all unfold.
It's certainly not the smooth sailing FIFA envisioned, but hey, at least the fans get to watch the games for free, right?
Yeah, because that's what matters most to FIFA. The fans. Give me a break. Okay, let's take a break from all this negativity for a second and actually talk about the groups. What kind of Frankenstein's monster has FIFA stitched together this time?
All right, let's dive into these groups. Some are spicier than others, that's for sure. Group A, we've got our host country heroes, Inter Miami, alongside Brazilian powerhouse Palmeiras, Portuguese giants Porto, and African champions Al Ahly.
Oh boy, poor Al Ahly. Talk about a baptism by fire. They're stuck with a team that's only there because of Messi's ego, a Copa Libertadores champion, the European giant.
It's a tough group for sure, but Al Ahly is known for their resilience. They won the CF Champions League a record 10 times, you know. They might surprise a few people.
Yeah, well, they better hope Messi's taking a nap when they face off against Inter Miami. Let's move on to Group B, PSG, Atletico Madrid, Botafogo, and, wait, the Seattle Sounders. How the hell did they sneak into this mess?
The Sounders earned their spot by winning the CONCACAF Champions League back in 2022. It's a long shot, but they have a history of pulling off upsets.
Yeah, well, they'll need a miracle to survive this group. They're going up against Mbappe, Neymar, and a perennial La Liga contender. This is like bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Group C is where things get interesting. Bayern Munich and Benfica are the heavyweights, but Boca Juniors from Argentina and Auckland City are lurking in the shadows.
Oh, here come the Auckland City fanboys. Let's be real, they're just happy to be there. They'll probably get trounced by everyone, but hey, at least they'll get some nice vacation photos.
Well, while it's true they're massive underdogs, Auckland City has a knack for making things difficult for their opponents. They play with a lot of heart and tactical discipline. It wouldn't be the biggest shock if they stole a point or two.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that. But let's move on to a group that actually has some potential for fireworks. Group D. We've got Flamengo, Chelsea, and Lyon. This is a recipe for chaos.
This is the group of death, no doubt about it. A Brazilian giant, a European powerhouse, and a Mexican club with a chip on their shoulder over the whole multi-club ownership debacle. It's anyone's guess who's coming out on top.
And let's not forget, Lyon's going to be playing with something to prove. They're going to want to show FIFA that they deserve to be there regardless of who owns them.
Group E is a bit of a mixed bag. River Plate, Inter Milan, Ural Red Diamonds, and Monterrey. You've got South American flair, Italian grit, Japanese precision, and Mexican resilience.
It's like FIFA threw a dart at a map and picked whatever countries it landed on. But hey, at least there's some diversity, right?
This group is fascinating because it's hard to predict how the styles will clash. You could have a high-scoring, end-to-end match between River Plate and Inter, or a tactical chess match between Urawa and Monterrey.
Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. Group F, Fluminense and Borussia Dortmund. Two attacking powerhouses that are going to light up the scoreboard. Plus, we've got Ulsan Hyundai from South Korea and Mamelodi Sundowns from South Africa.
Fluminense and Dortmund are definitely the favorites, but Ulsan and Sundowns are no slouches. They're both champions of their respective confederations and have a history of exceeding expectations.
Yeah, but let's be real. This group is all about the Fluminense-Dortmund showdown. Get ready for some goals, folks. Now for the group that all the Manchester City fans have been waiting for. Group G City, Wydad AC from Morocco, Al Ain from the UAE, and... wait a minute, Juventus. Juventus is in pot 4.
It's a sign of how far Juventus has fallen in recent years. They've been struggling both domestically and in Europe, but they still have a talented squad. Don't count them out just yet.
Yeah, but come on, this is Manchester City we're talking about. They're the reigning Premier League champions, Champions League finalists, and arguably the best team in the world right now. This group is a walk in the park for them.
Well, while City are the clear favorites, Wydad AC and Al Ain are both strong teams in their own right. And let's not forget, Juventus has a history of pulling off upsets in big tournaments. Remember their run to the Champions League final in 2015?
Okay, fine. Maybe it won't be a complete cakewalk. But let's be real. City's going to steamroll through this group. And finally, we come to Group H, the Real Madrid Invitational. They're joined by Al Hilal from Saudi Arabia, Pachuca from Mexico, more multi-club madness, and Red Bull Salzburg from Austria.
This group is intriguing because it features a mix of established giants and potential dark horses. Real Madrid is obviously the team to beat, but Al Hilal has been making waves in Asian football, and Pachuca always seems to find a way to be competitive.
And let's not forget about Salzburg. They're a team that's known for developing young talent and playing an exciting brand of football.
Yeah, Salzburg could be the surprise package of this group. They have nothing to lose and could cause some upsets.
Okay, so we've got 8 groups, 32 teams, and a whole lot of potential for drama and upsets.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the venues. Where the hell is FIFA sticking these games?
Well, they've chosen a mix of iconic stadiums and smaller venues spread out across the United States. The final is going to be at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, the same place they held the Super Bowl a few years back.
MetLife Stadium. Seriously, that place is a concrete jungle. It's about as far away from a football in paradise as you can get.
It's not the most aesthetically pleasing venue, I'll grant you that, but it has a large capacity, which is what FIFA's looking for. They want to fill those seats and maximize their profits.
Of course they do. But hey, at least they picked a few decent stadiums. The Rose Bowl, Hard Rock Stadium, those aren't bad.
The Rose Bowl is a historic venue, having hosted the 1994 World Cup final and the 1999 Women's World Cup final. Hard Rock Stadium is a more modern facility with a retractable roof and plenty of amenities.
Okay, fine, I'll give them that. But the real question is, can FIFA actually pull this thing off? Or is it going to be a logistical nightmare?
Logistical nightmare. It's already a logistical nightmare. Have you seen the schedule? 63 matches crammed into 1 month. It's insane.
Yeah, FIFA's basically treating the players like lab rats in a stress experiment. Let's see how much punishment they can take before they break. It's a recipe for burnout and injuries, and FIFPro's been raising hell about it, threatening to sue FIFA's pants off.
FIFPro has every right to be pissed. They're arguing that this condensed schedule puts player welfare at risk, and they're not wrong. There's no way these guys can recover properly with so many games packed in such a short time frame.
But hey, who cares about the players' right? As long as FIFA's raking in the cash, they're happy. They probably have a whole spreadsheet calculating how many hamstring pulls they can afford before it starts affecting their bottom line.
It is a valid concern, though. This tournament is basically a month-long sprint, and players are going to be pushed to their absolute limits. And let's not forget about the fans who have to travel all over the country to watch these games, who can afford to fly from Miami to Seattle for a midweek group stage match.
Exactly. It's like FIFA's living in some alternate reality where everyone's got private jets and unlimited vacation days. They're so out of touch with the average fan, it's almost comical.
Yeah, the travel demands on both players and fans are definitely a factor to consider. It wouldn't be surprising if attendance figures are lower than FIFA expects, especially for those early round matches.
I wouldn't be surprised if half the stadiums are empty. FIFA might end up regretting their greed when they see those empty seats and realize they've alienated their own fan base.
Speaking of greed, remember that whole broadcast and rights fiasco with Apple? FIFA thought they could hold Apple hostage for $1 billion, but Apple walked away.
Yeah, that was a classic FIFA move. Overplay their hand and end up with nothing. They thought they were the smartest guys in the room, but Apple showed them who's boss.
In the end, FIFA had to settle for a free streaming deal with DayZ. Not exactly the financial windfall they were hoping for.
It's almost poetic justice, isn't it? FIFA tries to squeeze every last penny out of everyone, and they end up practically giving the tournament away for free. This whole thing is shaping up to be a giant PR disaster, and I, for one, am here for it.
Well, despite all the controversy and logistical headaches, there's still a sense of anticipation surrounding the tournament.
Really? Because all I'm seeing is anger, confusion, and apathy. Most fans are either pissed off at FIFA or just don't care.
Well, it's a new format, and it's going to take time for people to adjust. Once the games start and we see some of those high-profile matchups, I think the excitement will build.
Maybe. I'm not holding my breath. But even if the football is amazing, can we really ignore all the problems surrounding this tournament? The ethical concerns, the scheduling issues, the financial struggles. It's a lot to sweep under the rug.
Of course not. Those issues are real and they deserve to be addressed. But let's not forget that football has a unique power to bring people together, to transcend borders, to create moments of joy and excitement.
All right, you've convinced me. I'm cautiously optimistic. Maybe, just maybe, this Club World Cup will be something special. But if it turns out to be a complete disaster, I'm blaming you.
Fair enough. Let's just hope that FIFA learns from its mistakes and starts putting the interests of the players and the fans first.
So there you have it, folks, the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. A tournament shrouded in controversy, a logistical nightmare, and a potential football and spectacle all rolled into one. Will it be a triumph or a train wreck? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, we'll be here to cover every ridiculous twist and turn. Until next time, keep the ball rolling and don't let FIFA get away with their bullshit.